Yo, what's up guys, I'm Charis and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to be looking at the requirements to jump from the low level PvM to the mid and high level PvM. By having everything that I list on here and a little bit of practice, you should be able to kill anything from Araxor to Elite Dungeons and even Telos. Remember to leave any thoughts in the comments and let's get straight into the video. To start off, we have train your combat stats to level 99. This is a really obvious one, but I decided to include it because of a couple of methods that are really good in different ways. It's so easy to get your stats to 99 nowadays that it's not worth it to just be anything under that. I'm just gonna show off the method. This isn't gonna be a guide on every specific method, so if you do want to see a guide on it, let me know in the comments below. The first method is doing EV3 trash runs. This method is absolutely broken. You can get up to or even higher than 5 mil GP an hour while also getting 1.5 million XP per hour. This method is really good for training up your stats, especially if you're trying to make money to upgrade your gear. If you're low level, this method works better in a trio, so if you want to find a team to go do ED3 trash runs, you can join the ED Team's friends chat. Next up, we have Shattered Worlds. Shattered Worlds is a distraction and diversion located in the Lumbridge Swamp, where you kill groups of enemies while climbing through worlds, which increase in difficulty. The XP you're gonna get here depends on your level and the worlds that you are able to do. And this is especially worth doing because you will be able to unlock the Bladed Dive ability, which is really useful in a lot of different boss fights. The final method is training your combat through the Abyss. This method won't give you as much XP per hour as the other two, but it is also AFK. So if you want a low effort method to train your stats to 99 while you're doing something else, this is definitely the way to go. At number 2, we have Complete the World Wakes quest. This quest has no requirements, although you do need to kill a couple of bosses throughout the quest, so make sure you train your combat stats at least a little bit before you go do it. As a reward for completing this quest, you're gonna get the best ultimate abilities for magic and range, which are Sunshine and Death Swiftness. These abilities boost your magic and range damage by 50% respectively. This is a huge DPS increase and it's necessary in every DPS rotation. It will also reward you with a lamp that will grant you 250,000 prayer experience after you get level 80. But don't worry if you don't have level 80 when you complete the quest, you can always destroy that lamp and get it back once you do have 80 prayer. You'll also get 3 lamps which will grant you 100,000 experience each in 3 different skills above level 75. So you can use those to help you level up skills that will help you in combat like prayer, herblore or summoning. Finally, you'll get 3 more lamps for 50,000 experience each in any combat skill that you want, so that can also help you raise your stats. For a quest with no starting requirements, the rewards are extremely good. For number 3, we have Unlock Curses. Ancient Curses are a set of prayers different from your regular prayer book, and there are some really strong ones in there. To unlock them, you need to complete the quest The Temple at Sentistan, and this quest requires 46 previous quests, so this is quite a grind. On screen now you can see the skill level requirements to complete every single one of these quests, including the Temple at Sentistan. Once you unlock the Ancient Curses, you're going to want to train your prayers so that you can actually use them. One of the most useful curses, if not the most useful, is Soul Split, which you unlock at level 92 prayer. Having this prayer up will heal you for 10% of all of the damage you deal. Although this is an overhead prayer, so this means you can't use protect, ranged, magic or melee while you're using it. Soul Split will allow you to cut back on the amount of food that you need for a boss so that you can have longer trips or easier fights. At level 95 prayer, you can unlock Turmoil, Anguish and Torment. These prayers increase the damage, accuracy and defense for ranged, magic and melee respectively by 10%. They also reduce your target's damage, accuracy and defense. These are the go-to prayers for any mid to high level PvMer, and they will be for you until you have about 700 mil to spare to buy the tier 99 curses. Next in line, we have training your Herblore. The most important milestone for Herblore is level 96 when you can make overloads. There are higher tiers of overloads up to Elder Overloads at level 108 Herblore, but the regular one will do to kill about any boss in the game. Through Herblore, you'll also be able to unlock Anti-Fires, which will allow you to kill the Queen Black Dragon a lot easier, and Adrenaline Potions, which are really useful at mid to high level PvM, granting you extra adrenaline with a sip. I've already talked a lot more about adrenaline potions on my video on useful items and unlocks for PvM, so make sure to go to my channel to check that out. I got one for beginners, intermediates, and advanced players. But the gist of it here is that training your Herblore will unlock you untradeable potions that you can use for PvM and will increase your kill times and DPS by a lot. You can even get all of these potions 7 levels earlier by getting a boost from an advanced pulse core, which you can usually get anywhere where there's people training at portable training stations. You can also get up to a +6 Herblore boost using a Spicy Stew, but the boost that you get from these is random all the way from -6 to +6 levels, until after you do the quest Evil Dave's Big Day Out, where you can guarantee a +1 to +6 boost. Now we're gonna move on to gear, starting with the armor. The armor that you have isn't extremely important as long as you know how to deal with the mechanics of the boss that you're fighting. Although you do want to avoid using tank armor since power armor will boost your DPS. Tier 70 power armor is a good balance between price and usability, and is definitely more than enough to kill every single boss in the game while you work on your upgrades until you eventually upgrade your armor. Tier 70 power armor is obtained through God Wars 1, but unless you're an Iron Man, you're just going to be buying it in the GE. And you have Subjugation for magic, Bandos for melee, and Armadillo for ranged. Now we're going to move on to weapons, and boy do you have a lot to choose from. The lowest tier I'd recommend you have before trying mid-level bossing are chaotic weapons. All of the weapons that we're going to take a look at are augmentable through invention so that you can add perks to them. Chaotic weapons require level 80 dungeoneering and will cost you 200,000 tokens for the two-handers and 100,000 tokens each for the main hand and offhand. If you did 83 trash mob runs for your combat stats, you should have enough tokens to buy at least one of these. Although you should only go for these if you're an Iron Man or if you're absolutely broke, because we are going to look at some pretty cheap alternatives. Moving up through the tiers, we have God Wars 2 weapons at tier 85. Under each weapon you can see the price for a set, and as you can see the blades and the one orb are really accessible. The only one here I wouldn't recommend are the glaives, since you can't use criminal bolts with them. If you don't know what those are, once again go check out my video on items and unlocks for PvM because I explained them on there and I'm not gonna go through them now. But long story short, you would be better off using a main hand chaotic crossbow so that you have access to those bolts, even though these weapons are 5 tiers higher. Also at tier 85 we have the RAPTOR'S weapons, which are weapons that are dropped from Slayer. These weapons have higher damage but lower accuracy than the weapons from God Wars 2. Depending on your hit chance on the boss that you are doing, you can decide whether you want to use God Wars 2 weapons or these. And the Wyvern crossbow is a lot more expensive, and you can try and guess the reason why right now. You guessed it, it's because it has access to criminal bolts, and yes, they are that good. At tier 87 we have the Deathmatch weapons, and they're a bit more expensive because of course they are a little bit higher tier. But if you do have the money to spend, definitely go for these and get a slightly higher DPS. Once again, the only one that isn't worth it is the Decimation Bow, because no criminal bolts, no good. Finally, we have the last tier before moving up to tier 90, which I'm not going to cover in this video, and those are superior ancient weapons at tier 88. You can make these weapons by combining the regular version with an Ancient Warriors equipment patch. It's important to note that all these weapons degrade to dust, but if you're using them for bossing, you're going to make enough money to replace them with tier 90s by the time they degrade. They're also pretty cheap, so even if you don't make enough money for a tier 90, you can just buy a replacement after it goes away. That's gonna be it for the weapons. Just take a look at them, the prices and how good they are, and you can decide which one is the best that fits your needs. Once again, these weapons are more than enough to break into that mid to high level tier of PvM. You're probably wondering how on earth you're gonna make enough money to pay for all that gear and also your prayer to 95 and your herbal to 96. That's why next week I'm going to be coming out on a video on how to make enough money to start PvMing, so stay on the lookout for that. Although I do have a few honorable mentions, starting with summoning. Through summoning, you'll unlock the Beasts of Burden in the Terror Bird, the War Tortoise and the Packjack, which will allow you to bring more food to a boss fight, allowing you to eat through your mistakes. Once you can kill the boss without using the food in your Beast of Burden, you can upgrade to a damage familiar to make your kills even faster. The final one is unlocking Invention and putting entry-level perks on your weapons and armor. Having these entry-level perks will mean you're going to be dealing more damage and taking less damage, making every single fight a lot easier for you. I am going to be putting out a video on entry-level perks and best in slot perks, so if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you subscribe to the channel to check it out. That's it as far as requirements go. Having all of the above means you can kill anything from Araxi to Telos with enough practice. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something new, and good luck in your PvM adventures. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. You can also click on screen now to go to my channel, a random video that YouTube will select for you, and my Road to Golden Reaper playlist, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!